What's up, reefers? Today I'm going to show you how I'm going to create my scape. So this is what I've got so far. These are all different purple man-made rock structures kind of collected over the year. I know this is a Carib Sea. I think this is real reef rock, and this is also real reef rock. I got those both at Macna. And I believe I got that one at Macna too. Maybe Reef-A-Palooza. This one right here, I got that also at Macna. So this is all purple, which is nice. I also got some other rock right here. Not sure what brand it is, but I'm going to. One thing when you're making your scape is you want to make sure that you don't have too much rock in your tank. Less is sometimes more. You do need to have that negative space in your tank, otherwise it's just going to look really crowded. And you also have to consider that when you put corals in here, that's going to also take up space. Now this is not going to be an SPS tank, so this is going to be an LPS tank. So I don't really have to worry about too much as far as massive growth very quickly if I was designing this for an SPS tank. My idea is over here having different euphyllias, torches, frog spawns, hammers. Hammers and frog spawns typically do get along together, torches don't. So I don't know if I maybe put the torches at the top and the hammers and the frog spawns at the bottom, but they will need to be somewhat separated. On top here, I'm hoping that my clam will fit right there. I think that'd be a great top-down view. I have a nice Maxima clam. Over here on this side, this will be, shaded over here. So possibly some chalices, some Leptocerius, some corals that need a little bit less light, especially like kind of on this cliff. If I can get a combination of Leptoceriuses to kind of grow up, 24K and different colored Leptoceriuses to grow up and encrust on this rock, I think that would be pretty cool. Over here on this rock, I'm thinking about acans. So this would be all different acans covering this area. And so other than that, some different random corals. I'm not going to put zoanthids in this tank. This is going to be just all LPS. Maybe some scalemias. I don't know exactly where I might put those with the acans. And then I have negative space right here that I could possibly use for a brain coral or something like that in the future. Also, another thing I could possibly put up here are some different favias. That might look cool. But definitely some encrusting type of corals that look really good viewed from the top of the tank. So definitely some clam. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully a clam would fit here and sit nicely and be happy. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these two rocks together. They're pretty stable the way they are. This is a 50-gallon tank, a 50-gallon cube I'm going to put them in. So I do want them to be somewhat secure. This is going to be a smaller tank. So I don't know exactly what fish I'm going to put in here, but I'm definitely thinking of some wrasses, because I do have a sand bed, some wrasses, possibly some gobies with a pistol shrimp pair. So I'm not so worried that it's going to fall apart. I mean, it's pretty stable, but if they burrow underneath, I just don't want it falling, hitting the glass or anything like that. So I am securing it. Now this rock has been in a tub of water circulating for about 3 months. So it is cured rock. It is popular. It's been water changes have been done about every 2-3 weeks. I would take basically my wastewater from my reef tank and then put it and take this water that was in the container out and put my reef tank water. So this has got a good population of bacteria on it already. So that should really speed up my cycling process. Plus, this is going to be, the 50-gallon is already hooked up to an existing 30-gallon seahorse tank that's been running for about a year. So really, I'm not looking at any cycle here. I'm going to add some additional bacteria just to kind of give it a boost. But I do not want, I didn't want to use the Amarco cement or mortar because I didn't want this rock to completely dry out. I want to preserve as much of the beneficial bacteria on this rock as possible. So the method that I'm choosing is I've got this acrylic or polymer stick. This is the one that my LFS sells. It's just kind of a generic one, but other companies make them. Two Little Fishies, and I can't recall the others. I'm also using superglue. So icy gel, any superglue gel work. This just happened to be the one my LFS carries. So the method is I'm going to put a layer of superglue on, then I'm going to put the epoxy on, and then I'm going to put another layer of superglue. So I'm going to basically use the superglue to kind of hold the epoxy to the rock, and then the epoxy will also shape to the rock and also add some hold. I found that just using the epoxy alone is not going to give you a really great hold, but that combination of superglue, epoxy, superglue is going to give you a good hold. Now, am I going to be able to pick this up or pick this piece up with one hand and it's going to stay together? No, but it is going to keep the rock work and things from, if they are disturbed or moved by animals in the future, it's going to keep them nice and stable. I am wearing gloves because I don't like the feel of this, and it kind of smells really nasty, and I don't really necessarily know what's in here exactly, and I don't want it on my hands and it gets all sticky. Same way with the super glue. I find if you use gloves, for me, it's just a lot cleaner, and I got a box of them for other reasons, like when I frag zoanthiids, so why not? So I'm just taking the protective kind of layer, plastic layer off. And then what you do is you kind of knead it together. And you mix this, in this case it's green and a white color, cream color. Now, at first, you'll be able to see it on the rock. I try to hide it as best as I can. It will cover with coralline algae, just as the rock covers, and basically you won't really be able to see it. Plus, once the rock gets covered with coral, you're not going to see it. So that's a good amount right there. I like to roll it into a little sausage, as Gallery Aquatic TV, another YouTube channel, guy from Australia. I think his channel's really cool. Check him out. So I'm looking to see kind of where my contact points are on the rock. Taking my super glue, putting it on the contact points. This is probably a little more than I needed, so I'm just going to take it in half. Kind of stick it down in there, put it on there. Once again, put another layer of super glue. And then gonna smush it together and let it sit there for a few minutes as it dries and adheres to the epoxy and super glue. Now the nice thing about this is I'm doing it out of water because I can, but you can do this also underwater. So all of these things, the super glue, the epoxy, can also be used underwater. It's a little more challenging underwater, that's why I'm doing it out of water. But it can, this is the nice thing about these things, is they can be done under salt water, which is nice. And because you have the gloves on, you can kind of smooth out that super glue. And so that's how I put together, how I chose to put together and adhere these rocks. I think it will do a nice job. It will keep things stable. This is pretty stable. This one in the back piece, this is, you know, pretty stable. So it wouldn't be so stable that I could just pick it up from right here or right here and it would hold together. I'm going to have to be careful with this, but as far as things like falling or things getting knocked over, it's pretty stable. And so this is what I'm going for. That's all for today. Hope you like my aquascape and the way that I chose to put it together and adhere it together. Maybe that helped you on your choices that you're going to make for aquascaping your tank. If you like this video, go ahead and like. And if you want to see more of my content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Have a good day.